All right, I think we are streaming live on YouTube. This is Rich Groves with Metro STL Homes and the Hootie's House Buyers Club. We're going to have Chris Monroe streaming through his social media accounts here very shortly. I see we have some folks joining us. We've got Adam in Pennsylvania, and I thought I just saw Nick coming on here. He might be, I may be hiding the non-video folks. So if that's the case, then that's probably, there's Nick. Man, look at the view you got there, Nick. What a gorgeous view. How you doing? Is your mic on? Can you hear me okay? We are live on YouTube at the Metro STL Homes.
I don't have audio.
There you go. You got audio. You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Rich?
I can.
I don't have audio. Oh, wait, hold on.
I can hear you. Yeah, check your test your audio because
Okay,
you got.
I'll work on it for a second.
Sure. Yeah, you can't hear me, so does me no good to tell you. Nick, you're missing a good one, man. We've got a really special guest on. All right, for everybody that is watching via YouTube, Chris Monroe is going to be joining us very shortly. We've already got Nick the man on with us, and we got Adam. Oh, there's Jalen. Looks like Jalen's coming on here. Let's let Jalen in. Make sure he gets in okay. I think that's Jalen. I could be wrong. Is that Chin or Jalen? Who's there with us today? All right, you are on mute, so I apologize. But if you need to unmute, say hi to us. Let us know who you are, where you're coming from, where you're from, caller. There. We've got Adam from Pennsylvania out there. And Nick, you're in the St. Louis area, right, Nick? It doesn't look like St. Louis back there, though. Can you hear me now, Nick? You hear me? You hear me?
I hear you. Well, yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, at least you can. And Nick, are you still having issues? He's figuring it out. And is that Jalen out there? It says Chin Jalen. Are you out? Is that Jalen? I can't hear you if whoever that is out there and there's no video. It's okay. You don't have to show your video. We love seeing smiling faces, though.
Ah.
Nick, can you hear me now?
I got it.
I love it, man. I love it. Your struggle with technology is real.
Hey, just the other day, I got my new laptop. And so to transfer from my one that's dying over there, I have to find my bookmark, type it in the line, save it, and then put my password in.
Ooh.
And you know what I haven't done yet?
What's that?
My Zoom. So I'm
you haven't set up your Zoom. Well, I'm glad this lets you set up your Zoom. If nothing else, this lets you configure everything.
Oh no, I had to run in. I'm on my mainframe now, my desktop.
Okay.
I have to load my Zoom onto that one, so I'm good though.
Nice, good. Hey,
they sent me these cheesy headphones with the little mic thing too. So.
Oh well.
That's a new toy too.
That's all right. That's all right. Exactly.
So
Adam is from. He just went video off, which is cool. Adam's actually with his kids there. But Adam actually is in Pennsylvania, and he's associated with the mentorship group I belong to, and so he's doing me a favor by coming on, checking out what this Hootie's House Buyers Club thing is all about. And then Chris is going to be on here in just a minute or two. he's having some technical difficulties on his end, had to reboot his computer, but
Wow.
we got a good one for everybody today.
Go figure.
We're going to
technical
talk
problems.
about, yeah, I say we got a good one, right? When we've got no agenda, right? There's no agenda. It's just, let's talk real estate. It's just, I'm so
Perfect.
positive about tonight that I know it's already going to be a good one. And I think my face is just so reflective. I don't know. It's just so white. My face is just like reflecting, and I'm trying to adjust my lighting here. It looks like I'm on doggone. It looks like I'm, and even when I turn it down, I bet I could turn it like all the way down and it would.
It looks
still
all right.
There we go. That's not bad.
No, that's
Good.
all right.
I feel like I'm in, like, there should be some Barry White playing in the background or something because it's so dimly lit here at the bar. I feel like I should have patrons here, but anyway,
Select.
there you go. Exactly. Okay, let me get that for you. Virtual style. Oh, but Nick, so last week when we were at the face-to-face meeting, I know we didn't get a ton of time to talk, but you had
No, it was a sad deal. I had to leave.
yeah, you did. You did. Man, that was a good one though, wasn't it? I mean,
It was. I
counted up, I
couldn't
think we
believe
had
it.
21 total, and then that's in case anybody didn't sign in or, whatever. So, but it seemed so much more because I had requested the front part of the restaurant, right? We're usually in the back where it's that big, huge room. That would have been awesome because then we could have all just kind of mingled and walked around and whatever. And we were kind of cramped. So next week or next month, hopefully we'll get that small room or the big room or the big room in the back, and there'll be more chance to walk around and mingle and talk.
Oh, it ended up really good because even though I had to leave early, I made a few nice contacts and
Good.
I got some good information off a couple people. So
Good.
that's the whole thing for one of these meetups.
It is. It really is. There's Jalen. Jalen, is that the Jalen? Is that Jalen Foster? See, it says Jalen F out there. You're muted, buddy, just in case you didn't know already. Some people, talk and they don't realize they're muted. So I just thought I'd let you know. Yeah. So Nick, I know I want to talk to you. We don't have to do it here via this. We can always meet another time if you prefer.
I got to get a time with you one day to get together.
Yeah, we could talk about those leads you have and the special situations there are, because we can get it figured out, and it's not going to take us long, I don't think at all.
I think I'm getting a little headway on that process. So
good.
Things are looking
I've got
better.
a couple other very knowledgeable contacts that might have run into those situations as well. So I can
all right, that's perfect.
Adam might even know.
We don't even need to reinvent the wheel. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not hard. It's just, you got to understand what those are. And if anybody's watching right now, we're talking about reverse mortgages and what happens when you, and we don't have to go into the details, but what happens when you are faced with a seller who has a reverse mortgage on the property that you're wanting to buy.
All right.
So there's a lot of, question marks. For me, I've never dealt with one. But I know
here I'm a newbie and I have two going.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited for you, man, because we're going to figure it out together. I'm going to help you out.
That'd be perfect.
I will get my, I will reach into my bag of contacts and see if folks have dealt with sellers who've had a reverse mortgage. It's not, if you think of the concept and what it involves, it shouldn't be that hard to figure out. It's just, again, it's if you've never done one, just like if you've never done a short sale or if you've never done, if you've never done an assignment, that is weird, right? I remember the first time I dealt with a landlord who had several properties, and I was assigning one to him as another rental property for himself, and he had never done an assignment, never heard of an assignment. He was always buying his stuff traditionally, and here I am throwing him this creative, assignment deal so he can get. And it wasn't even a creative assignment deal; it was just, to him it was creative. He didn't know I had actually put him on, like, while we were meeting. I said, let me call the title company right now, and you could talk to them, ask any question you have. You make sure it's legal. This is legit. Everything's good. And so he did. That's what he did. He was like, hey, what's up with this and all that. So, yeah, but again, things in general, and I don't mean to hog all anything is scary until you find out about it, right? Until you learn about it.
Exactly. I think what it amounts to is you have to have a good relationship with the finance company that they didn't work out a process with them, and because they don't want to carry the property, they just
Right.
soon unload it. So
Yeah.
that's
So
where
you-
I'm working at. So I'm working on that end of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a and now the actual name of the document escapes me right now. It's the same document you would use so that the your seller, the homeowner, gives you permission to talk to the finance company. I want to say it's like the disclosure agreement or something like that.
Yep.
To where they sign over and say, Nick Johnson, Bridge Property Solutions. Did I say that right? Is it Bridge Property Solutions, or what's your company's name there, Nick?
Bridge Property.
Bridge Property. Okay. So
Bridge Property Solutions.
Oh, so it is Bridge Property Solutions. Wow, man, I actually said that. I was right. Wow.
Yes.
So Nick Johnson with Bridge Property Solutions, has permission to talk to you about my account, blah, blah, blah.
I think I do
You have
need
one
to
of
get
those,
that.
right? So I think if we get that signed by anybody and everybody who is responsible for that account, you should have no problems at all talking to them. And then we can ask the big questions, how much is, what would it cost to get them out from underneath that or whatever. So yeah, I don't want to disclose too much now or talk about it, not because I'm hiding anything. It's just because that's still a process I need to get through myself. And this is me exposing myself if all 4 people out on YouTube are watching. No, but it's just me exposing myself and admitting there are things, nobody's perfect. Nobody knows every single thing. I don't care who you are. Nobody knows every single trick and thing about real estate investing. And I'm just admitting here that I haven't worked with a reverse mortgage. So, but I know there's a solution and I know we can figure it out, and I've got no problem helping you with that, Nick.
We'll be working on a plan, no
Yeah,
doubt.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to doing that.
Good, because I know we can. And I
It'll
know
be a
it's-
learning process, and that's what we
Yeah.
all need to have.
Yep, exactly. And just, you got to keep in mind, you've been learning this for a while now, Nick. You've been working in this and working on things and working in your real estate investing business for a while now. You should have confidence that you've learned things and you know things, and you're not a newbie as far as this is the first thing you've ever come across in real estate investing. As far as I have never heard of what an assignment is. I've never heard of a rehab. I've never heard of hard money lending, things like that. Those things are
I have all those.
Yeah.
And what I did was I was doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, jumping around, doing all kinds of little, getting part way in all of them. I said, I got to slow down, put my focus in one direction and get that rolling really good, and then add on to it.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? And I know, like I said, we're not getting into too much of the details and stuff. I mean, I'm going to pop over to our YouTube channel just since we are streaming live on YouTube, see if anybody's made any comments or anything. And they haven't. I don't expect there to be a bunch. I don't have a huge YouTube channel. Hopefully, we can fix that. But
they all start somewhere.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be cool if that was your thing? Wouldn't that be cool if like a year from now they're like, oh man, you got to talk to Nick. He's the reverse mortgage guy. He knows everything. He's done 20 deals on reverse mortgages. Because think about it, that generation has a huge number in it, right? I mean, again, I'm not. When we're face to face, there are things I say and tease you about, right? But but
right.
Your generation, Nick, no. But that baby boomer generation,
gray hairs. I got that when I was 35.
Hey, you've got more gray hairs than I actually have hair, so you can knock that off. No, no. But seriously though, I mean, that is a huge, as far as numbers, right? As far as the sheer volume of baby boomers and the folks who are going to be, maybe have been the targets of reverse mortgage, maybe baby boomers' parents even were targets of reverse mortgages. And I don't mean targets in a bad way, but they were the target audience, right?
Right.
The target clientele group. So that may be a thing that's more and more common where you're dealing with folks who have reverse mortgages. And that'd be a pretty cool niche. So if somebody ever came to me and I may say, yeah, I did one with this guy, Nick, but you know what? You need to talk to Nick. He's the guy. He's done 52 reverse mortgage deals in the last year, one a week.
Wouldn't that be something? It starts out like your YouTube channel is only a few subscribers. I don't even know if I'm a subscriber to that, but I will be if I'm not.
You should.
I
If you
will.
have, you've got to get out there and look for the Metro STL Homes YouTube channel. and subscribe. You'll get
I'm-
everything. You'll get my Metro STL home stuff. You'll get the Hootie's House Buyer stuff. You'll get some silly. I've even got. Oh, I think they're hidden. I was gonna say I think I've got my old. A couple years ago was the 30th anniversary of my senior year high school football team, and I posted all the videos from the games because it was pride, man. It was the first time my high school football team had ever made the playoffs. So my high school was the first time our high school had ever made the playoffs. So I had to post it out there for nostalgia, 30-year anniversary, man. But anyway, it was a little mix of everything. But I think I kind of hit those. I don't think they weren't just for real estate investing. So I kind of hit them, I think. But anyway, I've got a few series where I'm interviewing other real estate investors from the St. Louis market. They're going to be appearing on there
Nice.
as well. And then I've got my mentor. I interviewed her, and I've got to just finish the final touches on that one, and that'll be out there as well. So yeah, it's hopefully we'll build the channel up pretty well. And anyway, so tell me what else are these the only things you've been doing, Nick? And I don't mean that in a negative way.
And actually that's sort of in the works, in the process, which is just, I'm just finding my way through it is the way
Sure.
to put it. And I'm making progress all the time. So I'm happy with what's going on.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, I'm in St. Louis. Well, you know that, but I'm in St. Louis. And I'm here to tell you, if you didn't know it already, the city of St. Louis is messed up.
In what way? What do you mean?
I'm in the city hall website, and I'm calling people downtown to city hall, and I get to a place and it says municipal courts, because I'm looking at problem properties.
Okay.
The ones that the city's written tickets to and puts notices up.
Right.
And so I'm trying to find the department I need to get a hold of. I find it across the top of the city's homepage. Municipal courts, it's traffic fines, blah, 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 blah. Problem
Right.
properties, on and on and on. So I call them up. They go, no, you got to call City Hall.
You're kidding.
No. And it says it right on their page. So I hit a brick wall with that so far, but I'm kind of getting it chiseled out and down to where I need to be the right person, so I can get a list of those properties so I can start working with those distressed owners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's some good work to be putting in. That's hopefully you're going to get some reward for that work you put in. Definitely.
That's kind of where I'm at. So,
Yeah.
but when you deal with the city hall, you find out that it's
Right.
way
No.
messed up.
So when you get all that information, you get the owners and you get their, are you also then skip tracing to get phone numbers, or what are you doing with that when you get the information?
Well, once I get that list, I can, contact those. I'll skip trace them and contact them and say, hey, I know you have a problem with your property and I don't know what, tell me about it.
Right.
And then go through the process and find out just what they got going on and how we can solve their issue with it. And,
Yeah.
and then I could just say, hey, put it out my buyers and say, I've got this one on contract. Who wants to pick it up?
Right.
So that's my main niche that I'm working on. But you go to City Hall and it's like, ooh, what a mess.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds like code enforcement in the municipality that
It is,
You
but
would be
St.
doing
Louis don't really have that, especially right now with COVID, because a lot of stuff are sort of minimal staff and their courts are. In fact, I just printed it off a while ago. They're
so in PA
Schedule.
we have an app called PA Dockets, and you're able to pull up. I don't know if by address is an option, but you can look at magistral dockets and see the owner and their information and the mailing address, and then either skip trace it that way or just send them a letter.
where was that
Door
at?
knocking. So it's called PA Dockets, but usually it's a public records thing. So if
Yeah,
you
St.
have
Louis- Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Adam. Sorry.
no, go ahead. Ason's yelling at me, so you can take it from here.
Oh, that's all. We have a CaseNet. I don't know if you've seen CaseNet, Nick.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, let me pull that up real quick and just share it. Just hopefully everybody else.
Adam,
has something like that.
Adam, I want to know where were you at?
Yeah, so let me share my screen.
I'm in Pennsylvania. We use
Okay.
PA dockets, so I guess maybe Missouri. Yeah, Missouri courts.
like this?
Anything
Yeah.
public records, you should be able to find.
Well, the thing is, you got to find the right person to deal with to get the records, and that's St. Louis.
Well,
Everybody,
it's
nobody
public
knows
record,
anything.
so
I have to
everything
go to
should be
public records.
available online.
Yeah. So Nick, if you got like, so if you have, so you're going to them asking for the problem list, like are you asking for, like, you want to know what properties have utilities shut off, or you want to know what properties owe back taxes, that kind of stuff? Is that what you mean?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, that's a different thing altogether. Now, this is what I use for probates. You know, I use this site for probates.
Oh.
This is a golden nugget. I'm telling you. Ms. Melendez is on the call. How's it going there, Ms. Melendez?
Going well. How are you doing?
Good, not bad, not bad. Long time no see. I'm just going to show Nick here real quick where we find probates in Missouri real quick. And Nick, so this is just CaseNet. If you Google CaseNet, you can use a couple different things, but one, you can do litigant name search if you know the person. So this is what I do when I get a piece of mail back. If I get a piece of mail back and it has that DEC written on the mail where it says deceased, I'll come here, type in litigant name search. I'll type in the name of the deceased, and it should give me the information if it's in probate and then a lot of other stuff. But there's also, wow, now I'm big shot now, the case number search, filing date search. So you can do like a filing date search even. And what I'll do is I'll narrow this down. There's Supreme Court. There's the 21st, I believe. Yep. 21st is St. Louis County. 22nd is City of St. Louis.
22nd is a city.
Yeah. So if you're in the 22nd, you can actually say, okay, we'll start on this week, right? So I want to start, well, let's just say the last week of August. Starting the last week of August, I want all cases, and then there's case type right here, and there's probate right there. You hit probate, all click find, and it's going to give you a list of every probate case that was filed that week.
Okay, I get you.
So this might be, this might be something, I don't, if you're in your mind that you want to do problem properties, that's cool, that's fine. It sounds to me, and this is just my opinion, and take it for what it's worth, it sounds to be very labor intensive. It sounds that you have to spend a lot of time at, talking to people and on the courts or whatever. Whereas this, I get, and they tell me even what case type it is. So if one says, for example, like determination of heirship, okay, I may click on that one. That's that little link right there. It'll show me the case header, who the parties are. So I click parties and I can see, okay, there's the decedent or the person who died, right? Thomas Dombrowski Jr. is the petitioner. So I can kind of assume that this is the son. Here's their address. Here's their date of birth, tells me how old they are, and it shows me also they're the heir. So there's an attorney here too. So you can actually contact the attorney directly and ask if they're wanting to sell this property or whatever. And then what I'll do is I'll see this, but I'll also do a search on this address right away. So I'll bring up the assessor's office site. I'll type in that address so I can see, was it owned by Mr. Dombrowski, or was he renting it because it was owned by somebody else? Because if it's a rental property, even then it might be good to go to approach the landlord, because now they don't have a tenant, right? And we know landlords without a tenant might be more inclined to sell. But anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing now. But that's what I do when I'm looking for probates and stuff, Nick. So I don't know if that helps. Is that similar to what you were talking about, Adam? Or is there something more in depth?
Well, it's like there's a probate department in a lot of cities, but St. Louis doesn't really have that officially so far that I've noticed.
Yeah, the cool thing about that is, you can get it all right there in CaseNet. And I would assume that each state has something like that. I know Illinois does, and it's a little harder to navigate, but the Missouri one's a little easier because you got links right there to the full court case. You can see who the decedent was, who the heirs are, if they have attorneys or not. Sometimes they don't have attorneys, so now you can just skip trace to talk to the decedents already. But me personally, my strategy has been, and other people might be different, but my strategy isn't to I don't want this to be, okay, isn't to strike while the iron's hot in those kind of cases. I think I lost you, Nick. But if you watch it back, basically what I'm saying is give people some time to grieve. You know, you don't want to be ambulance chasing and, oh, hey, somebody died. You know, they just filed a probate case last week. Let's call them this week. I don't know. That to me, that's bad taste. But other people might have different opinion on that. Do you deal with any of that, Ms. Melendez? Probates or anything like that?
I personally am never really direct to seller. It's very rare. I usually buy deals from wholesalers or from realtors. So I never actually do the legwork of actually skip tracing them, looking them up, or finding the actual owner's information.
Okay. So tell me, how is business? You're still down in Texas?
Yes, I am in San Antonio, Texas. And I have literally just been working on my personal rehabs as well as the construction team that I'm running and helping other investors do their remodels on their investment properties.
That is awesome. So you do that too, where you're like you're subbing out all the contractors for other people too, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's a great stream of income. That's great. Yep. Good for you. You've been doing that a while though, now, haven't you? That isn't something new for you.
No, I've only been doing like the construction portion for about 2 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I only have like 3 investment properties of my own that I purchased this year.
Oh, really?
So I rarely ever wholesale. I don't really wholesale.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like it. That's all. That's great though. That's good. Things are strong there in San Antonio.
Yeah, our market is really good. The only thing that we ever really have trouble with is trying to outbid people from out of state because they're just buying in San Antonio sight unseen, well over the asking price, cash. Like so many people from even different parts of Texas are moving to San Antonio because the cost of living here is pretty cheap compared to everywhere else in Texas. But it's like California buyers, like they're coming down here buying up everything in our market, just cash.
I thought that was just St. Louis. I'm glad. Adam, do you guys see that too, where out-of-state buyers are trying to compete with you?
Yes.
Adam,
no, we're too rural. I think our population's under 20 grand. When we go to get loans, they're say our population's not big enough to support their loans. So
okay.
I don't think out of state buyers they're not looking here. So it might be a secret hidden market. You might just go a little bit further out.
I told Jenna I had marketed your county and Connellsville specifically for a while. I sent out a couple mailing batches just to go fishing because I knew I would have a buyer couple possibly there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as your probate goes, like Jenna is well known enough that she just when we're looking for a property, she posts we're looking, and when we get probates, it's usually we know somebody and their parents have acquired their parents' house as a probate, and they're like, we don't want to deal with it anymore. And we usually find a way to work in a buyer's referral fee. But yeah, that's usually in our probate area.
That's a good point too. Yeah. You are in a unique situation there, and you guys have such great relationships with folks that just come straight to you and just, hey, could you buy my mom or dad or grandma or grandpa's house or whatever?
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to have.
No, not at all. And it's good because, well, we all know, in that situation, you're dealing with heartache as well as the mental ache of having to deal with.
I would say you'd be surprised that people aren't as heartbroken of getting rid of the house and all the crud that goes along with it as you would think.
That's true. I mean, it brings out the worst in families.
Yeah, whoever is the I can't think of the word right now, but in charge of the probate, they're the one that
the executor.
They typically care the least.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. And
so
you always have
to get on your side.
Yeah, and I tell people, like, especially if there's multiple siblings on those, it's like find out who the one that has the biggest problem is and try to kind of not get on their side, but talk to them. I mean, like here, everybody else is like, no, we want to be able to split it so that we get 50,000 each, and there's 10 of us. And this guy in the corner is like, man, I just need $5,000 because I got bills to pay next week, right? So you're not trying to get it for $5,000 a piece, but you're trying to at least have him appeal to his needs, and he's the one who's like, yeah, I'll take whatever you throw at me. That's fine. But I don't know. So Ms. Melendez, you have how many projects going on right now?
I don't have any of my own investments being remodeled right now, but it's just two other investors.
But that's a big deal. That's awesome. That is a great thing. I've been thinking about that, about trying to do what you're doing. So maybe we could talk sometime to get some tips on how you're doing that.
It takes a lot of work. My partner does most of the work. I'm more of like the analytical person. Like I have the clientele or the people that always want me to go out, and I'm just like, hey, can we do this? And so he's the one that'll go out there and kind of monitor them. And if it's like a light rehab project, then that's something to where we can pretty much just get handymen to go in there. And it doesn't have to be like another type of contractor, but if it's just like painting cabinets, things like that, then it's real simple to get almost anyone to do those.
True. That's a good point. That is a good point. That's a real good point.
Look, there's Chris.
Chris finally made it, man. But is he coming on? Is he turning on his video?
He must still have some issues.
Man.
I would love to be on, but it just won't let me be great.
I was sitting there thinking, man, I'm flying solo this whole time.
You can handle it, Rich. Ain't nothing you
Yeah.
can't.
Oh yeah, I can handle it. I just need a Mr. Excitement to show up.
You got Ayla, you got Nick, you got Adam, and whoever else is on here. What up, everybody?
This is Chris Monroe, my co-host from the Chris Monroe Show. He's a legend here in the St. Louis area as well. Not as well. He is a legend. I'm just some dude.
Oh, you're a legend, Rich. Don't try to downplay it. He's the man. When it's in Illinois, he can't do it. No one can.
Yeah, that's right. You can't do a deal in Illinois, Southern Illinois, without Rich Groves knowing about it. No, I'm joking. Giving his stamp of approval. No, just kidding. Just kidding. But so what's going on, Chris? You got some video issues too, or you're just not feeling it?
Everything's in slow motion. It'll be coming up in a second, I hope.
Oh, is that right? Okay, no, that's cool. I mean, it's all good, man. Audio works too. You are Mr. Clubhouse, but Clubhouse has video now too, right?
No, I don't know. Maybe they do. I haven't heard about it.
No? Oh, I thought you were the one telling me the Clubhouse had video now.
No.
No? It's just audio?
Audio only.
Okay.
I'm trying to see why my camera not coming on now. I had to restart this whole computer. I'm not at home. I'm at my home office, or my office home, I guess. It's back.
Your office home. That's awesome.
Camera.
Yeah, I might need to look into doing some of these on Clubhouse then, because I got one of those faces. What do they say? Face made for radio.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one. Face made for radio.
So I should be doing some that aren't video. We got Adam from Pennsylvania here. We got Ms. Melendez from San Antonio, Texas. Nick, you're from St. Louis. Chris from St. Louis. Man, we are just we're hogging the screen here, St. Louis folks.
Yeah, Ayla, get some of them Texas folks.
Ayla came on as a pity thing, as a mercy thing. I've been asking her for like 2 months. Hey, come on, here's a special invite. And then
you invite me 11 minutes before the start.
I know. It's my fault. I'm not putting it on you. I'm putting it on me. It's like, and Adam, I did the same thing. I think I gave him 7-minute heads up. I said, hey, if you're bored and you want to come in on here with us. Yeah. There's Asen. What's going on, buddy? He's a soccer monster now, huh?
Yep. He's picking it up fast.
Well, good. That's great. That's good to hear. So what type of deals you been working on this week, Chris? Throw you under the bus already.
I wouldn't do that yet because I'm still doing something.
Okay, not a problem. We'll wait. It's all good. It's all good.
I can multitask, but I'd rather.
I know what you mean. Especially, you got, trust me, like that time we had the issue and I couldn't figure out how to turn off video or kick somebody off the video because I was freaking out and trying to do other things at the same time. But yeah, so I actually had a pretty good week, guys and gals. Pretty excited. We had well, I actually just yesterday, put in 4 offers yesterday, and 1 was approved, which made it through, well, 3 total for the week already. And here we are Tuesday. I'll count the weekend. 3 approvals already, and 2 of them I already have buyers. I'm gonna sign them sign them. So that was pretty cool, pretty exciting, for just a part-time, full-time guy like me. It's pretty exciting. Oh.
Congratulations.
Hey, thanks. Small wins. I'll take small wins. Oh, there he is. There he is. Watch out, Chris. You got a lion sneaking up behind you. How's it going, Chris?
All right, what's happening? What's happening?
It's about to be the Chris Monroe show.
That's right. That's right.
But can the
That's why
people
we simulcast.
see me? We're supposed to be multi-streaming now, I think, on Facebook and YouTube.
Are you streaming?
Yes, we are streaming live. I hope if you all
Okay.
in the comments, if y'all can hear and see. I see somebody named, let's see, Chris said, "What's good, woke family?" I see Siren Beat said, "Got some heavy hitters on the stage. Should be a good one." All right, heavy hitters. Which one of y'all heavy?
Heck yeah, we're all. I mean, shoot, this whole thing is heavy right here.
That's right.
No,
So, yeah.
This is good, man. We got good group here. Ms. Melinda. Hey, can I just call you Ayla? I know I say Ms. Melinda.
Ayla, just practice. Ayla.
That's kind of what I say, right? I mean, I say Ms. Melinda's all the time. But I don't want to, I don't want to offend you if I'm saying that all the time.
No, you're fine.
All right.
Ain't it hard to say Melinda than Ayla?
Ayla was telling us about her contracting business, about how she is the. So what do you officially call that? Like that part of your business, that stream?
Well, I'm a licensed and bonded general contractor. So it's just a construction business, I guess.
Okay.
My partner.
That's awesome. That's sweet. So that's cool. And that I actually had heard about that, and I guess it makes sense you have to become a licensed and bonded contractor.
You honestly don't have to be licensed. A lot of people do it because as a contractor, you're pretty much contracting out a lot of the work. So you don't have to really be licensed to do that. And living in San Antonio, a lot of people are not licensed. I just chose to get licensed and insured.
So you could stand out.
Mm-hmm. So it's like whenever you get licensed for something, you kind of hold yourself accountable. It's like, it's public information. So
that's a good point.
Most of the people that run off with your money are the ones that usually aren't licensed.
True. That's true.
So are you saying you're a professional middlewoman?
There you go. That's a great name.
That's a great way to do it.
I want to say middleman, but that wouldn't have been right.
Middlewoman. So let me ask you something. So the way I had thought about it, because like I said, I mentioned to you, I thought about getting into this. My mentor had brought it up actually on one of our calls one time about, so you can bring in, let's say, a contracting crew to give you a bid on the rehab, and then you tack on 10% or 20% or whatever you're going to do, and say, okay, well, here's the bid. This is what it's going to cost you total, and it just shows the 10,000 instead of the budget numbers now, but instead of the 8,000, it shows 10,000, whatever. Yeah, is that kind of what you do? I'm not trying to peek behind the curtain.
No, that's literally what it is. Like an investor says, "Oh, I'm about to do a light rehab on this house. Can you walk out there and give me a bid on it?" So I'll just walk it, check the condition, and then I think like the most tedious part is actually typing out a bid, because I can just quote it, but it's the fact that you have to itemize and type. It's like typing a receipt, the equivalent of that. And the fact that sometimes those investors, they buy with like a hard money loan. So those have to be itemized like very well. So sometimes it just depends on the buyer. Sometimes it could just be like a homeowner to where they just want to put flooring in there. If it's an investor that's buying with like a hard money loan, those bids have to be like a little bit more detailed. And it makes sense because, most hard money lenders, they cover 100% of the rehab. So if you're going to cover 100% of the rehab, it makes sense that you want to know where your money's going.
Yeah,
so
true.
How about 100% of the rehab, my electric bill, my water bill?
I wish utilities were included. Man, like whenever I had contractors in my own house, I was like, I know it's hot in Texas, but Jesus, that utility bill is high. They just in there with the doors open and running up the AC. I'm just like, man, I have to pay for this.
Set to 60 degrees and all the windows and doors are open.
Exactly. I'm just like, ugh. I was like, we need to get this done in 1 month. So it could be one cycle I pay for it.
That's right.
Utilities ain't no dumb.
Exactly.
I
You,
wish
uh,
I wish
You know
they would.
anybody in the St. Louis area that provides those kind of services like Ayla does, Chris? Where they
I used to, but you know, people last for so long, and then you know, life happens.
Yeah,
I
no,
can't
that's right.
recommend anybody offhand on the air at the moment. I
Right,
can
no, it's all
recommend
good.
somebody, but it would be a full disclaimer in front of it.
Right. I'm just trying to gauge my opportunity. Like I said, I've been thinking about doing that, but no.
Oh yeah, you could take it over. You would be the man with the master plan.
Yeah, I would have to bring on somebody to help with that. Like Ayla said, it sounds like a headache, sounds like a lot of work. So it sounds like wrestling hamsters or wrestling. Well,
Wrestling.
rustling. I guess I better use the right terminology from Texas, right? Ayla, rustling hamsters is what it sounds like.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
It might be possums or armadillos.
Yeah, definitely. They're huge.
So things are hot in Texas, not just the weather, but the market is hot. What's been good for you lately, Chris? You're all over.
I've been doing more wholesale deals. I want to buy some more though. You know, I've been having a wholesale. I think 2 more closing this month. But yeah, I want to keep them though. I don't really want to pass that to somebody else. You know.
Yeah.
You just waiting for a private lender?
I need about 3 private lenders because I find some stuff and I do not want to give it to the next guy to go make all that money on it.
What's like the average cost of like the owner finance houses in St. Louis? Like just an average cost of one, like if you buy it for yourself, about how much is like the cost of the house?
The whole purchase price can be anywhere from 60 to 150, depending on the area. You know, we got a lot of mixed areas here, but I guess I can go off the range for me between 60 and 150. That's the range I've dealt in, but you know, you can probably go more or less. In fact, I did do one less. I forgot. I did one that was only $25,000. How about that?
Wow.
And now that house and the payment on the house was like 3 something, but yeah.
Wow.
That was my very first rental was an owner finance. And that was the one that, if I've said this story, just tell me shut up if I've told this story on here, especially if you've got such a small group. If anybody's heard it, just say shut up. But my very first rental was a realtor friend of mine reached out to me and said, hey, you know, I've got this lady from Texas who has 2 rental properties near, you know, where you are. And would you be interested? And I actually know one. She owned 2. She was going to sell 1, keep 1. And I was like, okay, I'll take a look at it. She gave me the whole scoop. Like the property managers are horrible. The property was vacant every 6 months and they couldn't keep a tenant in there. And it would take them like months to get anything fixed and get a new tenant in there. She was just tired of it. So I come rolling up on this property and I see a tree had landed on the back part of the roof. It didn't go all the way through the roof. It just like clipped the roof, but it was still like laying on the roof. Looked bad. So I'm taking pictures, sending her video. It wasn't great, but I was like, look, this is, I can do, like offer. So I ended up offering $13,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, little under 1,000 square foot. And at the time you'd want to be all in for about 25,000 in that area, which I know seems so super cheap, but
it's not too cheap. Rich Mama.
but so I was like, okay, I could do 13,000, but my calculations are about $6,000 in rehab. You need to foot the bill for that. So I was like, I'll pay 13,000 if you'll do a 5-year mortgage at 13,000 at X percentage. It ended up being like $250 a month. If you'll do that plus kick in $6,000 for the rehab, I'll do it. And I'm thinking, there's no way in the world this lady's going to accept. She came back and said, I can't do 6. How about 3? So I bought it for 13,000, owner financed, and she gave me $3,000 to put toward the rehab.
Oh, how nice of her.
Right, I know, right? So And that was my very first one. And I was like, holy crap, I need to find more like this.
Think about all the ones you didn't do before
True.
you knew what to do.
Right. True. Very, very true. We've got, is it Tracy Logan on the call? On the Zoom?
Hi, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little late, so I just
You're
kind of got
okay.
in late.
Hey,
So I sort of missed the synopsis of the meeting, but I'm just a new investor trying to get some information and network because, you know, there's a lot out here, I'm sure like you guys know, and I don't know a lot, so.
no, it's all great. No, Tracy, thanks for coming. There is no such thing as late. You know, the only time you're late is if nobody else is on this call.
I
Then
heard
you're
that.
late, right?
You came after me, you did good because I was hecka late.
Right.
Oh, okay, as long as I'm, you know, again, I was like, oh no, I wonder if they're over yet, but just kind of wanted to see what you guys are doing out there, because I was thinking more of doing the live-in multi-unit thing for my first thing, because I am trying to move back to St. Louis via Chicago, so I am in the Chicago market right now, but definitely will probably end up in St. Louis, so I'm looking for, so, you know, trying to do the live-in with the multi, because they said that's a good way to start when you're kind of getting started.
Hey, it's good to have somebody else paying your mortgage, right? So yeah,
See?
that's a good thing. That's great.
Have you ever done a wholesale deal, Tracy?
No, but I thought you sort of had to be a real estate person to do the wholesale deal.
In Chicago, I think you can do one wholesale deal every 12 months. So if you're going to do one, you might as well make it worth it with no license.
I heard that. Yeah, I'm a little too chicken right now, but that's something to definitely think about down the road, because, you know, maybe a wholesale could be a good one too. But I don't know. I was kind of thinking of maybe developing, because St. Louis has a lot of stuff here that's, you know, I want to say cheap, but you can probably find some decent deals and also help the community at the same time. So
That's the key, right? You're redeveloping residential areas, right?
yeah.
Improving neighborhoods one house at a time, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I do
Yeah.
have a question though. Have any of you kind of dealt with, and I'm not sure where everybody's from, but here in St. Louis, and I'm pretty sure Chicago has it, where the city or the state or whatever has land available for you to get at a discounted or auction or whatever, however they do it. Has anybody gotten into any of that or know anything about that? Or is it, you know, mostly crap or what?
It depends where you're doing it. I know, yeah, because in St. Louis, because I'm actually in St. Louis, and
Yeah.
there's an yeah, and there's an actual auction, a city auction coming up. I believe it's the city, it's not county, it's city auction coming up on the 21st. So a week from today, I believe, I have to check my dates, but I think it's the city auction. And those are pretty easy. The city ones, I mean, as far as the process, the county one's a lot more difficult, but the city one is pretty easy. I could put you in touch with an attorney that I could even, you know, if you put your email address down in that chat box or whatever, I can forward you the email I get from this attorney every time there's a city tax sale. And I mean, I could do that for anybody that's interested.
Yeah, that would be great.
And it actually, the cool thing about that is, you'd have the information for the attorney. You can call them directly and get more information, but and the process. But it also has the whole list, and it used to be. I didn't open this one yet. I just got it, I think, over the weekend or maybe on Friday. But it used to have all the addresses listed, and they were all geotagged. So like you would click on the link, and it would pop up in Google Maps and show you where it was, and it would actually show you all of them. And you could actually, like, you could filter out, okay, well, I don't want anything where the starting bid is over $3,000.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. So it'll pull it up. The only thing is, you know, recommend, and they recommend too, is get out and drive the properties.
Because basically this is as is. I mean, that's kind of what these auctions are, as is. So there's no inspection. You don't know if the foundation sucks or the plumbing sucks or whatever.
Or if the back side of the house is even there. Because the very first one I did, I pulled up and I looked. I'm like, this is gorgeous. This is an incredible house. I'm looking at the paper starting bids like $2,500. I'm like, are you serious? I get out, I walk around. The entire back side of the house had been blown out.
Wow. So that's basically you have to tear it down and start over.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I was like, wow, it's a good thing I got out of my car, because you could easily just say, hey, look, I've got 10 properties on my list. I need to get to all 10 of them. I'm going to drive by. Oh, okay, this looks good. I'm going to drive on to the next one. Okay, that looks good, right? So you definitely want to get out and take a look at the property, walk around it if you can. I'm not gonna say to do anything illegal. I'm just saying, you know, if they left the back
Oh,
door
I might
open.
just maybe look in the window, see what
Yeah,
I
if they left the back door open, and
No.
yeah, I'm not saying do anything with it. I'm
Oh,
just
I
saying.
thought I heard somebody scream help.
Right, yeah. I was just checking out, make sure everybody was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
there
house you
were a
said,
couple I've gone to.
that one you said with the back of the house gone, that sounded like a house I had under contract over on Clay.
Is
in the
that
city.
right? Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, the whole back of the building was gone.
Oh my God.
All those bricks, like half the bricks. And I'm like, how are the building still standing? But whatever.
And they probably didn't show you pictures from that side.
No, I had no pictures at all. This was part of a 7 package deal. I got several of them off, but that one did not get off. Nobody would take that one. Couldn't give that one away.
Really? Oh, man.
Hey, Rich, I know when I was in the Kansas City market, the land abstract had certain rules that you had to hold the property for so many years in order to be able to buy off of the land
Exactly.
abstract from the city. So that'd be something to look into also
A
when
redemption
you're buying
period.
those properties.
That's a
Yeah.
great point. That is a great point. Yeah, if you're looking to just get rid of it real quick, that may not be an option. That's true.
Also, it was usually not investors that they wanted to sell to first. It was owner occupants.
Yeah, yeah. I ran into a couple at some of those. I've run into. I seem to be the only. Well, there were a couple other ones like me there, and this was fairly close to when I started. So this was probably about 6 years ago or so when I started going to those tax sales. And I was going initially, oh, this would be a great networking opportunity, right? I'll take a stack of business cards or maybe print up a couple flyers and say what we do, and I'm handing them out all. And I'm looking, and they're looking at me like, "What you do? What do you what?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, never mind." So that's a great point. Great point. All right, T, I got your. Look at me. I just called you T. I'm sorry, Tracy. Tracy, I got your email address. So it's that T Logan, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it. Yep, I got it. I'll forward that on to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. No problem.
So yeah, you could do that tax lien sales and things like that, but you have to do a lot of things. And like Rich said, it's a lot of different moving parts regardless of the city or the county. The city is a little easier, like you said, because the county, you're gonna have to do a quiet title suit to clear that title off because they just give it to you kind of any old kind of way, and it might be liens on the property. So that's the county, but the city, from what I understand, you don't have to go through that process because we
Yeah,
can
true.
still, but it's better because they actually give you a clean one. It wipes out those other liens like it's supposed to do.
Yeah, as long as I don't think the city's caught on to some of these other little municipalities that don't put liens on anymore. They just have open bills. There's no sewer lien on some of these municipalities. It's just, oh, that's the open sewer bill. What are you talking about? That's not a lien.
Yeah, how do you really check to see if what's on these properties? Because the last thing I need to do is buy something. They're like, oh yeah, you got to open $50,000 water bill.
Right. Yeah, I would call that municipality's, sewer company or, sewer department or whatever, or water department, ask them around.
Okay.
Yeah, the title company is going to be doing that title search and researching that stuff to make sure you have a clean and non-encumbered title. You don't want liens and things like that on there because that would not be good after spending your cold hard cash.
Right.
Absolutely. I would be very upset.
That is definitely what will happen. That's the great part of, like when you're wholesaling a property or assigning the property and it's going through a real, general warranty deed, and the title search does that. But on those tax things, you don't get that. It's all as is. You get it.
Now you can go to a title company though if you want to run it, right?
And you can ask them. Yeah, you can. I mean, I don't really know what the cost is because I haven't done that. But yeah, they'll do it. Right? Yeah.
I mean, maybe just to again, I'm still new at this, so I want to try to cover all my bases because I've just heard so many horror stories. Either bad tenants or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, so typically when you're buying those, Tracy, so you're talking about for wholesaling or for buying and holding?
Well, for me, I want to purchase a multi and then live in one of them.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's still going to go through the title company, the same process, and they're just going to give you title insurance, or you're going to purchase title insurance and make sure that, if something does pop up next year, oh yeah, we forgot about this $55,000 lien that nobody knew about. I need to holler at them. I got clean title. So that's basically, the biggest thing with that. So it's not the biggest worry for you, as long as you have a third party title company in the middle, as far as St. Louis is concerned.
Okay.
If you do end up buying from the tax sale, that attorney I'm gonna forward you to, they have like or they did, have a package deal where like for X flat fee, they'll do all the paperwork and everything you need to do to make sure you get that property. You know, if
That's what I'm talking about. I'd really like to have a one-stop shop.
Yep.
Well, the best one-stop shop, in my opinion, is getting direct to seller. Cut all these other middlemen out. Get to the person who can sign the house over to you. They like you for whatever reason. Know, like, and trust you. And then that's the best way, in my opinion, without all the government riffraff. What do you think about that, Rich?
Yeah, and that's great. And even, I mean, just staying with the topic, you know, with the tax deals, like if you see a property that it's going up for tax sale, if you got enough time, you can go straight to the seller and say, look, I see you're going to lose the house at, you know, starting bid's 5,000 or whatever. You see that's, you know, maybe that's how much is owed, or you can do the research and see what they owe, maybe 5,500. I don't know, but whatever that is, if you can pay that and clear them of it, it doesn't even have to go to tax sale.
Oh,
So
you
say,
can
look,
do that and that's legal?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to trim the fat. When you get direct to seller, everybody else must bow down. You can go do all this other stuff and
Trim the fat. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so not to say you don't have to deal with these other issues, because you do, but when you're in contact with the seller, everything comes so much easier because you're working with a person who has the problem.
Right, because they have the problem, so they really want to work with somebody to get rid of it.
Exactly. If you have to kick them down a few $1,000s, pay the tax lien or whatever off, you don't have to compete and worry about nobody running up a bid or none of this other stuff. It just makes it so much cleaner. It's just another strategy. So I always preach and teach. Get with the seller because they can sign it over to you today. You don't have
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to keep that. I'm
Because, I mean,
definitely note that.
all
Good
you
job,
see on
thank
the tax list is starting bid, right? You don't see the winning bid, starting bid.
Right.
The nicer the property is, trust me, that may go up to $40,000. The bid, you know.
Seriously?
Yeah, I've seen people run up that bid so high. If it's a real nice property, like let's say it's a $200,000 house, right? ARV fixed up $200,000 house, and I know that's nothing in Chicago, but you know how it is in St. Louis.
Right.
If it's a $200,000 house and the starting bid is 5,000 or whatever, it can go up to 40, 45, whatever, 50. Who knows? As long as you still have that value. But if you go straight to the owner and say, look, you're going to lose your house in 7 days for $5,000. How about I buy it from you for 10? You know, that keeps it from going way up. And
they need that check right now. They'll do it.
Yeah, and I'll use 5 of that to pay off your bill, you know, pay off the tax bill. You won't owe anything, and then you got 5,000 or whatever, 3,000 after closing costs, whatever it is, to put in their pocket.
They'll have some change in their pocket.
Yeah,
That's what it
exactly.
is.
And they can find themselves a new place, a rental or whatever, you know, get them on their feet.
Yeah, that's what one other networking thing I was talking about. They basically said, look for somebody who has a problem that you can solve. So
That's what this business is. That's what this business is, problem solving.
yeah, that makes sense.
How about
though.
this? I'm gonna make a bold claim, Rich.
What's that?
That's what all businesses are, solving problems for the marketplace.
That's true.
Well, I'm an insurance broker, so that's what we do. I'm a commercial
right.
insurance, so that's exactly what we do.
Is that right, Tracy? No kidding.
Yep, Marsha McLennan.
Commercial insurance. How is that market? How's the business?
Oh, business is good because everybody's got to have insurance.
Right.
And, property, I don't do residential a lot, so I'm usually up the bigger end and big commercial stuff, but everybody's got to have it. Liability.
Right. That's great. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's great. So when do you see yourself moving back to St. Louis, or do you? I mean, is it
Well, probably in the next year I'm planning, that's why I'm kind of really looking for something, because I'm telling you, this market is hot right now. That properties are going left and right. People are tripling, doubling, bidding on stuff, and I don't want to have to get into a bidding contest. That's why I was like, well, maybe if I check in the city and see what's happening, maybe I can do something a little cheaper and then fixer upper, and but I don't want to get into a foundation problem with plumbing problems and problems.
Problems are on the horizon. Just letting you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got you there. There will be issues, but I just don't want to. I'll tell you that I try to keep the surprises to a minimum. That's what I'll say.
And if you get it cheap enough, that's not a big deal, right? I mean, if you got a $200,000 house for $5,000, or whatever it is, I'm saying That's not a big deal to spend an extra 10 grand to get the sewer line right.
Exactly. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. If I can be okay on buying something that's reno and still spend less than actually buying the loan for the house and all that stuff, I'll be in a good position.
Yeah. You get somebody to rent that other side out, absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. So
it all comes back to the basics of finding people who have problems, solving that problem, having a proper conversation with them, listening to what they say they have going on, so you can give them what they want. If they want out, I help them get out.
Right.
Why even try to reinvent the wheel? A lot of people go in over offering, over making, over promising stuff that the person never asked for. Like, give them what they asked for. Why would you give them something more?
right. Now, what kind of properties do you have, Chris?
I specialize in single family residences, 1 to 4 units. I specialize in creative finance, buying real estate regardless of the credit score, regardless of how much cash you got sitting in the bank doing nothing, and regardless of having a real estate license or any of those other barriers that people tell you that you have. It's all not true when you get the knowledge up top. Ayla, how can we buy a house creatively?
That's pretty much the way it works.
Yeah. Making the owner the bank.
Make the owner the bank. Everybody trying to go get finance, but the best financing I've ever found in this game called real estate has came from the person who owns the house. I haven't seen any other 0% interest loans. Ain't no hard money lenders giving 0%. Banks.
So wait a minute, when you guys are doing that, how exactly are you doing that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it comes with the conversation. It's all part of the whole process. You need some type of system to attract these people that have these problems. And then when you attract them, have the right conversation, and then you just structure the deal. It all comes with proper training and education. I mean, it's a long answer, but that's the basic answer right there.
No, that sounds right. Yeah. And again, I'm a newbie, so I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So and the really reason I'm even saying this stuff just to let you know what's even possible, because some people don't even know what's even possible. They think you got to do it this way. You got a house hack. You got to get an FHA loan. You got to put 20% down on a conventional loan. You got to do this. You got to have a license. You don't have to do none of that crap.
I mean, and those I've been reading, and Bigger Pockets and all of that. They have the whole rundown of all the conventional loans and this and that and Burr and all of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, you probably got to learn it all. But I definitely like to cut to the chase, and what you're saying is definitely true. So yeah.
So that's why
you get the most out of real estate when you learn how to talk to people. A conversation will take you further than any education, any license, anything. Learn how to talk to people and you'll literally get the best or the most out of real estate in all aspects.
So true. Wow, that's good. That's great.
Sounds like a plan. Well, I just learned a lot. I haven't even been on there that long, and you guys have taught me a lot.
Good. That's what
it's about. Because honestly, a lot of people overthink it. Like if you watch any of Chris Monroe's videos and things, it's the most simplistic thing ever. A lot of people overthink it when they go into it. And whenever you overthink it, you talk yourself out of it. Sometimes you have to ask those uncomfortable questions, and you might be the only person that has ever asked it. And if you ask, you will receive. So that's how you get a private lender. You don't know if people have money until you ask them, hey, want to give me some money to buy a house and I pay you back 10 times more than the bank? Simple conversations lead to a lot of success. But you have to get uncomfortable to ask those questions.
Now, it's so weird asking, people are scared to talk about money, I think. We're just like really, it's just a weird conversation. So how much?
It's like a personal thing. It's really personal.
Well, how much you got in the bank? Can you help us out? I mean, you just don't. You're like, what?
And here's an important thing for the people listening here. Like you just said, Tracy, I think people this. Don't think for anybody. I don't think for no seller. I don't care. They're going to do what they're going to do, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I ask my questions, and I will allow them to tell me no or yes. So let me think about it. Or let me ask my husband, my wife, my cousin, sister, brother, auntie, uncle. I let them say, never, ever, ever think for the seller.
Yep. Don't think for anyone. Just ask the question and get the answer.
Yeah. Too many people want to put their own situation in a transaction, and you can't. You can't.
Once you go in there saying, well, I wouldn't do that, so I wouldn't ask that. But it doesn't matter what you would do because you are not them. And some people, you don't know someone's situation.
So true. I
So
mean,
the biggest thing, you gotta ask and listen, yeah.
yep. And you go in, it's so funny because to back me up or shoot me down, I don't care, but it's fine. But you go into a situation, okay, I'm gonna go look at this house. All right. In my mind, I've done some research before I came over here to see what the values are in this neighborhood. All right. And I'm just using easy numbers here. It's 100,000. All right. So 100,000, 70%. I'm at 70,000. Okay. Now let's go in and see what kind of repairs they need. And you walk through it and it doesn't need much at all. And you're thinking maybe 10,000 at the most. Okay. You're like, all right, cool. My offer needs to be 60. I need to be at 60 or minus, if I'm going to wholesale it, minus my wholesale fee or assignment fee. Okay. I'm at 55, whatever. And you're talking to the person, they say, well, really, I'd like to sell it for 30. Are you going to say, no, I got to give you 55, right? You're not, right? I mean, seriously, you got to listen to what they're telling you. And if that's what I literally had that situation, very similar situation this past week where I'm thinking to myself, okay, these two houses that were literally like a house, a vacant house and a house. So the two, the bread part of the sandwich houses, ARV on those, probably one for 149, the other one for 110. So you're looking at like I don't know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but you're talking about like 260 for two houses. And they wanted to sell them for 80, the package. 80.
Wow.
And even doing the assessments, one needed maybe about 20,000, and now one needed about 30,000 work. One needed really about maybe 15. So you're looking at maybe 45,000 max in work. So 125, and you're buying a $260,000 piece of property for what did I say, 125, whatever that was.
Yeah,
it was no brainer.
that is a
Oh,
no-brainer.
no. Let me give you what the market. I'm going to give you more than what you're asking. No, that's what they were happy with. That's what they wanted. And I even negotiated down a little bit from that.
Really?
So instead of getting 80, I got it for 75.
These people really wanted to get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's called motivated seller.
Yeah. Here's a tip, Tracy. and
You
Nick
guys
may
are
have heard
making
this
it
before.
sound so easy, and I know I'm going to talk myself out of stuff.
Don't. The thing is, and a lot of people will tell you, if you're not at least a little bit embarrassed about the offer you're going to make, you're giving too much. Your offer's too high.
Oh, really?
At least a little bit embarrassed. Yep.
Okay.
And I even teach to not say a number first. I want to know what they're trying to get, even though it really won't matter. My offer is still going to be what my offer is, but you don't want to offer more than they're willing to take. What's the least you would accept for this property?
Yeah. And be quiet, right? Yeah. And that's I mean, so they say, well, I'd take 80. I just use my example. I'll take 80. Well, here's my offer, 75. Knowing in my mind, I can be like 100 and I'm fine. They're saying 80. I'm like, how about 75? I mean, that felt embarrassing because I already knew they wanted less than what I was going to originally offer them anyway. If I would have, not know if they didn't give me a number. But yeah, Chris is right. He who gives the number first loses.
He who gives the number first loses.
Yeah, same thing with asking a question. When you ask a question, you get silent, and whoever speaks first loses.
Good point.
Yeah, so that's the thing, Tracy. You cannot talk yourself out of anything if you're not talking. The only talking you're doing is asking questions and letting them talk. We don't do all the talking and You can do that, but you're going to talk yourself out of the deal, like you say, but reverse it. Think of the best question you can ask so they can spill their beans, tell their life story, tell you how they need your help.
Yeah, it sounds like I just kind of better bring my insurance skills to the real estate because I think it's different, but it's really not.
You know how it is, open-ended questions, right? You're asking people, tell me about the kind of coverage you'd like, right? So tell me about the house. Not just going down your checklist of, okay, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how much square feet, when was it?
Yeah, because I'm doing a risk assessment, so I got to know everything.
Exactly. Whereas like you're talking, you just want to be conversational. Like Ayla said, you got to learn how to talk to people, right?
Yeah,
So
I think because it's me and my money is totally different. See, it's different when you're dealing with a client. It's their money. Yeah, I can talk to you all day long, but it's my money, and I got to figure out how much I can spend. So it's just a little bit different. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, let them talk. Walk through the conversation.
Tell me question and mute. Or like my guy Jerry say, stay mute till your debut.
What you say? You got a question? No. I thought maybe he had a question from his Facebook people. They get questions every once in a while. That's awesome. But so I know we're already 7:10, and I think I only post on here to 7, but I mean, we could sit here and talk forever if you want. Actually, I do have an 8 o'clock appointment, so I gotta get going.
No, I just thought it was very good information. Again, sorry I'm late, but you guys gave me a lot to think about, so I really appreciate it.
It's what we do. Chris and I get on here and let's just talk. Let's talk real estate. What kind of questions you got? What kind of deals you got? What kind of deals do you want? What's going on? What successes did you have this month? What lessons did you learn this month? That's what it's all about.
Okay, well, I definitely got a lot to think about, and you guys helped me a lot. So I'm going to take Chris's advice, and I'm just going to listen.
Hey, that's good. So Tracy, how did you hear about this thing going on?
Oh, I saw it on Meetup.
Did you? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're if you're ever in St. Louis, we have live face-to-face ones too, twice a month, and then but we have this virtual one once a month too. So we'd love to make sure you're on any of these in the future. So.
Okay, perfect. Definitely.
And I promise I'll add you to my email list too. And Ayla, are you on my actual email list? Like, do you get the ones during the day too?
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna put my email in here.
Fix that. There we go.
I put an email in there.
I'm gonna fix that. So you'll get them at least in the morning.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to start sending them out at least a day early because like by the time the morning comes around, you're like, dang, I got my whole day booked already. I can't be doing that. But seriously, thank you for joining me. I've been bugging you for a while, and I always do the last minute thing. But hey, it's always great to hear what you're up to. It's always great to hear. And I could have swore that you were doing the contracting thing for several months. So I'm excited to know that it wasn't. I mean, that was only a couple months.
Yeah.
It's so new, and you got it down.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Does anybody have anything they want to say? Nick, we've kind of shut you out there the last half of this show, man.
No, but the tax sale is coming up in a week, and I plan to go downtown to go to that.
Are you?
And I have the list.
The list. All right, look at you.
That I'm going through and getting some properties that I want to get to know about.
Yeah.
You always have to do your due diligence though, because Chris was saying about the one with the back missing on the building. Wow.
Yeah, dude, man, get out. Don't just drive by. Get out and look at the thing. 360 view. Look at the thing. The only thing you can't really see, maybe there's a ladder up to the roof. I don't know, but I guess you can't really see the roof from the ground. But everything else, look as much as you can about those things. Anyway, there's some diamonds in the rough, but there's a reason why some people thought so less of the property just to walk away. I mean, think about that, right? Any of those tax sales, they thought so little of the property to just walk away.
Sure, that's it.
That's why if you can get a hold of the person, you might get a really, really good deal because they're already either A, they're still living in it, but they're going to lose it, or B, they already left and they walked away. Then you don't need to offer $10,000 for their $5,000 tax burden. You can offer them $6,000.
Wow. Okay.
Or $5,000 and a penny. I mean, seriously, they're not. Or just sign me the deed. I'll pay the taxes.
Wow. Okay.
You get those.
A lot of times there's going to be a lien on some of them too, but most of those are sewer department ones.
Yep. Yeah, you want to check.
Do the $500 type thing.
Yeah, check with the sewer department for sure. If you are going to buy something from tax sale, do your due diligence. Includes not just a drive-by, but checking all the utility departments, see what bills are outstanding on that property.
That makes sense. I definitely at least would like to see how one operates. So for sure, even if I don't buy anything, it just is good knowledge to get in there and see what's going on.
Yep. I went to one thing and I was really going to buy one. I'm like, yeah, I even bid one up and it went way high. I was like, crap, I'm out. I only had like $4,000 I wanted to spend on a property. I had 2 identified and it was like starting bid $1,200. And I'm like, cool. I'm even like throwing up my thing a little bit. Like, all right, cool. I'm balling. I'm freaking driving this up a little bit. All right, 4,000, I'm out. I'm sitting there and I'm just watching.
Like, okay.
And then I kind of thought, oh, good. I'm glad I lost after all. I wasn't ready for that.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, it sounds fun. It sounds interesting. Okay.
It is. But anyway, well, unless anybody's got something else they'd like to share, I appreciate everybody's time and coming on late notice, last minute. Really do.
I just want to say I've got a lot of emails from you today and my calendar's full.
Well, awesome. I know. I've got to start doing those at least a couple of days early.
Well, I mean, you got me out to December with your
Oh
Zoom
yeah,
with
yeah.
the
I put them on the Hootie's
in-person.
House
So I'm
Buyers.
like,
Yeah, the Hootie's House Buyers Club Facebook page. You can find us out there too, Tracy.
Okay.
And
oh,
all my events, all
put
the
that in your
events are out there.
notes. Rich, put that in your notes.
Put that in my notes.
Put that in your notes about where you can find Hootie.
Oh, yeah,
Hooties.
yeah. I don't have the actual link, but it's called the Hootie's House Buyers Club.
I think go and type that
Am I in
They'll
that
find it.
Facebook group?
Are you? I don't know. I
don't
would
know.
hope so. Hootie's House Buyers Club Facebook group.
Let's see. I don't think so.
No? Oh, I'm just devastated.
Going
Well,
to
Love
I'm
to
not a
have you on our group.
Facebooker, but I definitely will come out here for the next meetings for
Well,
sure.
awesome. And I will make sure to add you here, Tracy Logan, to our email list. So you will get the email invites as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in that.
Well, all you have to do is
Search for
press
it.
the join or whatever it's called, and I will accept it in a heartbeat.
How do I?
That's the, we'll get it out there and accept it super fast. There's my Hootie's House Buyers Club. I have to check. This laptop that I'm using tonight is super slow, so I'll get it after the meeting. There's Nick. Yep, Nick is in St. Louis. Rich.
Oh, I found it. I just joined.
All right. Me too. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody. I appreciate your time. And Chris is just now coming back. So we were just wrapping up here, Chris.
Oh, see you,
The
Chris.
whole time. I was right here.
He's there the whole time.
So before we leave though, Nick, I need you to give us a tip on how we can get a deal.
Oh, boy. Ask questions and be always having, whatever their answer is, have another question for them to keep moving it forward.
Come on with it, Nick. You're giving them all the game like that. All right, Tracy, your turn. You gotta give us a tip.
Give you a tip. Make sure all of your properties are insured properly.
Yeah,
Right.
that helps.
That one might burn to the ground, and it ain't gonna be this type of time.
You know, I learned that lesson. I had actually a claim on one of my insurance on one of my properties that has a one-car detached garage, and they vandalized the garage and came to find out the garage was not covered in the policy.
Yeah, you got to make sure because that
I was not
detached
happy.
garage just makes all the difference.
I was
You have the
not happy.
wrong coverage form.
Like, why did I send you a picture of the house and the garage then if you didn't cover the garage to begin with?
Yeah,
want
you got to
pictures.
make sure they cover it because
It's like, I
that's
thought
a
we
different
covered
coverage
this.
form.
Mm.
Lessons learned.
Rich, I'm sorry. We got a question over on YouTube. I just saw it. And I guess this is a good question for you, Ayla. They say, when selling creative deals, do you ever create two notes and sell the first position and keep the second?
I do not, but I'm sure that there's a way you can.
That's interesting.
Do you ever do that, Chris?
I don't,
No.
but it is a creative strategy. Good question there, Adrian. That's more advanced for people who know what they're really doing out here while they're wheeling and dealing on this thing called real estate investing.
People who know what they're doing. That's hilarious.
Let's see here. E. Marie, that's not a question. I make a statement, not list compounding, but list stacking. I guess something y'all were talking about. But yeah, that's the questions I saw over here on the live stream. All right. I guess you got long enough time delayed. Ayla, you ready to give us a good tip?
If you do not ask, the answer is always no.
Come
Ask
on.
questions and talk
Don't
to
be hitting them
people.
with that heavy.
That is cool.
It's true. If you don't ask, you'll never know. You can't assume for people. That's not how you get what you want.
That is great.
All right, Rich. I know you got a really good juicy one cooking. You got a whole
Even him.
bunch of them behind them on the bottle. Just look in the bottle and find
I
one.
know. Hold on. Let me get the nerve up to say my tip. No, I mean, I want to build on Ayla's point about learning to talk to people. Absolutely. You have to know how to talk to people, and it's more than just what to say, right? So I'm going to combine Nick's and Ayla's. It's asking a question, but you have to know how to ask it, right? I mean, you have to know how to talk to people in the way that is genuine. You can't just say something like, you ask a question and I think I saw a meme this past week or something that said along the lines of the gist of it was if somebody responds after your story with "That's crazy," what that means is they weren't listening,
Yep.
right? Right.
Wow.
So, you've got to, even though, to Nick's point, even though you have to have your follow-up question ready, you also have to be able to be flexible enough to shift. That if their conversation, you're listening to their conversation, if it goes a different way, you can shift that conversation to that direction by asking an appropriate follow-up question and knowing how to talk to them in the moment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There you have it. So tips.
How about you, Chris? You ain't getting out of here.
I don't have no tips. My tip is take action on all the things you heard today and all the things you've ever heard me say. You can sit back and listen and learn and take notes and think about it and plan about it and never take action. So I want you to do that. Take a step. If you need help or assistance, reach out. Don't just be out here figuring it out. I'm just going to figure it out. Figuring it out ain't going to get you to the bag. Get somebody on your team. Real estate is a team sport. In fact, entrepreneurship is a team sport. Get some quality killers around you, like Ayla, like Rich, like Nick, like Tracy, and we're gonna help you make it. Maybe.
Don't put out the first number either.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So the people watching over here on YouTube, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share, leave a smart comment, and let Rich know you appreciate it. When we coming back, Rich? What's the next one?
Oh, the next one is going to be in September. You're looking at September. I believe it's September. Oh, no, I'm sorry, October. My bad. Geez. October 12th is the next virtual simulcast with the Chris Monroe Show and the Hootie's House Buyers Club.
Where do they need to go to sign up to get on that list?
If they don't get the email right now, sign up at stlviplist.com, and we'll make sure you get added to the mailing list to get the Zoom invites. You can join these 4 other smiling faces, pretty faces.
All right. So hopefully everybody got some good information tonight. Thanks, Rich, Ayla, and everybody. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you all.
All
Thanks,
right,
Chris.
thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Nick.
Have a
Thanks,
good night.
Tracy.
Nice to
Take
meet
care.
everybody.
Nice to see you.
Do what you do. Be
You're
who
silly.
you be, and I'll
I'll
see
see
you before you see me.
Oh.